All right, guys. This is your boy DJ Wolf here. I was watching some of the Breakfast Club, and I actually watched a couple of comments from a couple of other YouTubers about Fantasia and her what she speaks about submitting to your man, to your husband, right? Not necessarily your man, but your husband. Let me go into detail about that. This is DJ Wolf Live. All right, guys. Fantasia was right. There are things that you have to change once you jump over the broom, so to speak. You know, it's one thing when you're an independent woman and you're not married and you're single. All right? You can still have your independency, but you also have to, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say it again, you also have to submit to your husband. You know? Someone else on YouTube, another YouTuber brought up something about when you go to church and you believe in your church Bible prophecies about submission to Christ, you have no problem with it. Yet, the Bible tells you about being submissive to your husband, and you won't do that. A lot of times, we as a race, we as a people, and some of y'all women like to contradict things that you talk about. You have no problem submitting to the word of Christ and Christ himself, but that is one of the things that Christ talked about. That's what's talked about in the Bible, submitting to your husband. The number one thing. Yet, you can't do that for some strange reason. Because white people have dominated you in the narrative of believing any and everything that they tell you about what's right, what's wrong, and what should be right in your life. And y'all fall for the banana in the tailpipe each and every time. The bad part about it is y'all keep doing it. You keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe every time, no matter what. People tell you this, and then you turn around and do it anyway. The honest truth is, Fantasia was talking from experience, okay? This is a woman who actually went through the mill with guys. You know, I ain't gonna go into no details about that. Y'all know her story, all right? She has. That's a fact. I'm not speaking out of turn. Some of y'all might think that I am anyway, because y'all want to go with a specific narrative. That's the problem. You know, y'all women today want the narrative to be whatever you want people to think about it. If we as men think one way about the situation and we look at it with logic and reason, y'all look at it a completely different way from what we see things. And the reason why? Because you want the narrative to fit to your lifestyle, your situations, whatever way you want to look at it, instead of looking at it face value for what it really is. A fact. Okay? That's part of the problem. Y'all don't like to look at facts. Y'all want to look at things with emotion. You know? If you get out of that, take the emotional part out of it and bring the facts into play, you can actually have a better view of what you're seeing. But until you can get to that point, that's what it's going to always be about. You and your truth, but not the facts for what it is. You know, there's a saying I always say, there's my side of the story, there's someone else's side of the story, and then there's the truth. You have to come to a comedian when you get to the truth. You was going to jump out there, wasn't you? You know, you have to come to the truth. The commitment is the truth. That's all there is to it. Nothing else. Nothing less. The truth is what it is, because the truth shall set you free. You know? And a lot of us don't want to do that. A lot of, in our communities, you want to sell for second best. You don't want to sell for what's really on top. You know? The bottom line is, Fantasia has told the truth about her life experiences and why she had the problems that she had. Once she found that good man, all right, that she says been treating her good, and she hadn't been giving him no drama, and she said you should submit to a good man. If he's treating you good, and he's doing what he's supposed to do as a man, and he handling his business as a man, why would you give him anything less? And I totally agree with her. But y'all black, you want to run in there? Nah, I ain't got to submit to no man. Yeah. If he's a good man doing what he's supposed to do and doing God's will, you should submit to him. And I'm talking about men that they are committed to you in the relationship, aka a marriage. Okay. Now, even if it's not so, and I'm gonna say marriage, because that is the ultimate commitment. But y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to hear about being independent, doing what you want to do, and not have to worry about having to deal with no man. I talked to somebody recently. I'm not going to go into great detail about it. And they had the nerve to tell me that they wasn't nothing like my wife. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're nothing like my wife. You're not a submissive type of person. That's why your marriage didn't go well. They had horrible. Their marriage went right down the tubes because they weren't very submissive. They didn't want to even be close, but they were married. Matter of fact, they were married longer than I was, and yet they had all kind of problems. And the reason why they had all kind of problems because their lack of commitment to the marriage, aka submission. They didn't want to do that, and they even told me in detail. I'm an independent black woman. I blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. But yet, I'm by myself. Well, of course you're by yourself. You chose to do so. That was your choice. That's been your choice. So why complain to anybody else about it when that's what you wanted to do? You wanted to be independent, and you didn't want to submit to a good man who was doing you right all day and had mouth all day on top of all of that. Don't get me wrong. If the man ain't doing you right, you have every right to stand up to him. But if he's treating you right and doing you right, you should submit to him. The Bible even tells you that. Okay? But it's the same black women who always talk this, that, and the third about submitting to God, and then be trying to get the kids to do the same thing, and their men, but yet you won't listen to the man in a relationship. You refuse to do it. I hate when people do that. I really do hate when they do that. If I'd known that, I would have went around. It's about this car. But yeah, they do this all day. They do this all day. But yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip. Y'all want to have y'all cake and eat it too. But then you tell Fantasia she wrong for saying that. No, Fantasia's not wrong for saying that. Y'all wrong for the fact that she's right. And y'all hating on her. Some of y'all are actually hating on her. The only problem I get with Fantasia is she sit there and got the guy after decided to have him marry her after 3 weeks of just really getting to know the guy. I thought that was foolhardy. I'm gonna tell you that right up front. Very, very foolhardy. Do you know it was almost 6 months before me and my wife moved in together? Almost close to 6 months, about 4 or 5 months actually, before we shacked up, and we still didn't get married for another 2 years. Almost about 2 years later. So, and some people think that's too soon. But I think if you've been with somebody long enough, and you've done, because we did several things together before that. We traveled together and did stuff like that. We were doing all kinds of stuff. So, 2 years. And I think 2 years is more than enough. It is. It's more than enough. More than enough time to get to know that person, and blah blah blah. But yeah, three weeks. Nah, that's the problem. That was the problem that I had with Fantasia initially, was the fact that she made herself too accessible to guys like that, man. So it's a little bit of a contradiction with her, but I still ride with what she said initially about that. But that's a good man who has always been down to you and is committed to you, top flight. Ain't about the bullshit. But then she has to be the same for him. That's where the submission comes in. He don't have to submit to her. She does have to submit to the man. The man's treating her right. I totally agree with her on it. Any y'all women who don't like that, who don't agree with it, you gotta take a step back and wonder why your relationships with men don't work. Specifically good guys. The reason why most of y'all can't find good guys because y'all ain't right yourself. Think about it. If you the wrong type of bro who acts stupid on the streets and just complete hood rat everywhere you go, and you have a specific mentality that you ain't willing to change, you're never going to get the right man. You won't. It will never happen for you. I know women like that personally. Got nasty attitudes, throw you under the bus in a minute and lie on you. Okay? And yet, wonder why I can't get a good man. You know why you can't get a good man? Because you ain't got a good mind and you ain't got a good heart. That's the two reasons why you can't get a good man. You ain't right within yourself. If you ain't right within yourself, you're never going to have anything right in your life. I'll tell you that for a fact. Like my old lady. Me and my old lady, we've been together 30 years. This year, matter of fact, next month, officially marks 30 years. We've been together. We started dating around October, November 1989. We've been married 28 years. In December. And she always presented herself as being a good person. Just sweet, lovable. Always had a warm smile. Her smile wasn't phony. It was real. It was genuine. It gave me a warm sense of, I wouldn't say security, a warm sense of lovingness because it was true from her heart. I never found too many women like that. Even women I was friends with. Oh, man. Never found that. Very few women are like that. Very few women are like that. And that's what made me fall in love with her. I'm not going to lie. You have to come from a good... The relationship that you have with a man has to come from a good place in order for you to find that good man. You'll be able to tell right away if the guy ain't going to be right with you. Because he ain't going to be right within himself. But like I said, in order for women to find a good man, you got to be good within your own heart. Cat Williams also pointed out in one of his concert videos as well. He said pretty much the same thing about women. Always time I look for a good man, and they act the fool out here themselves, out in the streets, club and party and all this other mess. And I agree with him on it. I feel about the same way. I really do. You can't honestly say this about this, that, the third, and then you ain't acting right. You ain't acting right with your own heart. You have to, in order for you to be, I'm not saying to let people take advantage of you, and that's not my intention. But my intention is to tell you, if you want to find that good person, you got to be good in yourself. You have to be right in your own heart. You got to be doing the right things and making the right moves. Because if you ain't, and you a hood rat, and you got 5 or 10 kids all out well like but different daddies, there's a chance you're going to find that kind of guy who will rep that kind of bullshit. Okay? Yeah, I said it because it's true. But if you have 4 or 5 kids by different guys, and you doing trying to get your life right, and you ain't living that bullshit life, eventually there's a guy who won't be there for you. But you gotta be patient too. You know. And it takes time to find love. You can't rush love. Well, you know those old songs, you can't hurry love. Or you just have to wait. Love don't come easy. It's a game of give and take. That's true. It really is. You know? But you got these women out here who never, had real love of a man via, I'm talking about in terms of a loving heart from a father who never had that, and they look for guys just to have love and nothing else. And I'm talking about, they think sex is love. Sex is not love. Sex is a feeling. Okay? It's a feeling, and I'm talking about in terms of if, like, for example, if you try to get your freak on, it's about getting your feelings on. It's about getting your feels on. I mean, back in the day when I was out there, running the streets, it was about getting my freak on. I ain't get about none of all that other stuff. It's my boss and nut. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. But if you're really about love, commitment comes with that love. The love making is just cherry on the top for you. Just because you have sex with somebody don't mean you're in love with them. We was in junior high school talking about making the same statements. I remember we talked about that. That's true. That's just a fact. Yep, that's just a hard-nosed fact. But like I say again, Fantasia was right. Y'all black women need to wake up. But I will add that in order for you to find that good man, you gotta be right yourself. You have to get your act in order. You gotta get your house in order. That's basically what I'm saying. You can't sit there and do sloppy stuff, play the same head games with guys, and not get your kids in order and do what you're supposed to do, and not be trying to run the street with girlfriends trying to look for different guys every week. You gotta tone your shit down. You gotta get your act right. Because otherwise, those guys or those good brothers that you miss or will miss the opportunities out on is because they'll see right through you. They'll see right through your bullshit. Fantasia was right. This is DJ Wolf, and I'm out.